Jeffree Star recently accused Trisha Paytas of being a liar and went off on her. People are accusing him of desperately trying to repeat history. So what happened was Trisha had Terry Joe on her podcast, and during the interview Jeffree was mentioned, and Trisha kind of just laughed off the drama she'd had with him back in the day, saying she didn't even really remember what had happened. People weren't that bothered about this because Trisha wasn't exactly dragging Jeffree, but just briefly bringing up the past. Trisha has changed a lot since having her daughter. She doesn't get into any drama unless it's serious, like her recently calling out Colleen Ballinger, but other than that she's pretty quiet and doesn't get involved in dramas anymore like she used to.
Jeffree's cool.
Yeah.
I think we had I don't know, maybe we didn't have beef. I don't know. Sometimes you think about why did we fall out? Sometimes I forget.
So anyway, Jeffree ended up seeing this clip from her podcast and went off, calling her a liar. He was furious that she was being so chill about their past beef. He claimed she made up lies to try and ruin his career back in the day.
He made up the most vicious lies about me and tried to ruin my life. And at the time, everyone was bored and people entertained her lies. It was so horrible for my mental health. And this bitch says she don't remember. That's crazy! She don't remember. Oh, but she has a kid now. She's healed. No, she's awful. She's an evil person. This is crazy. She don't remember.
Three stars so awful to me on this Vegas trip a year ago.
We had like a fabulous getaway weekend with Jeffree Star in Vegas, which was so over the top and fun and amazing. And it was the best weekend of my life.
It was so crazy, y'all.
Jeffree also went on Bunny XO's podcast where Trisha got brought up. Basically, she'd stood up Bunny on Bunny's recent trip to LA, and it was really rude and last minute, and she didn't give Bunny an excuse. She just straight up was like, we can't do it. So Bunny thought that was rude and mentioned that in their podcast. Jeffree also went off on Trisha once again, accusing her of lying on her recent podcast and lying about Here by J too back in the day, which people were like, Jeffree, no, there's literal receipts of you bullying her and Here by J bullying her too.
I came off tour to fucking do her podcast with her. Well, to do her podcast and her come on my podcast. And she texted me an hour before she was supposed to show up that she wasn't coming.
Trisha she did me and Jay wrong and made up a whole drama. She did me really wrong.
Oh.
She made up all these lies, said I fat shamed her and called her all these things. Never happened.
Right.
Never happened. And then she gets in a fight.
Looking for clout too?
Of course she was. That was her shtick.
Right.
Jeffree said she'd made up all this stuff and only switched up once him and Shane were getting cancelled. Back at the time when Here by Jay was dragging Trisha and Trisha went off online crying about the bullying, Jeffree even came online to apologise on behalf of Here by Jay's behaviour. Here by Jay was his stylist, by the way. He tweeted, I've been in Wyoming and I had no idea what was going on, just catching up now, and I'm horrified by what he said. Let's not pretend I had any part in that. He also tweeted, I have personally apologised to Trisha Paytas several times last year about Vegas and she never responded, which is her right. I respected it and what happened is between us. Don't drag me into new drama, not interested. What someone else says does not represent me.
He paid for the car services, okay? I got to get the out of my house and show your disfigured ass and your disfigured ass for once, because a person actually invited me somewhere and made me feel like I have friends, okay? This is what I dislike. You want to take a video or something for me? Yeah, okay. This is no, it won't unravel. This is what I dislike. Why do people? What? Yeah, let your hands cool off. Why do people do that shit? Why do people like to talk shit about the negative about a person, but they forget to say all the good things?
Isn't it weird that Jeffree's all like, she lied about everything that happened in Vegas back in the day, when there's literal receipts of him apologising for what went down when they hung out. Jeffree recently said this to Rich Lux about their trip to Vegas and tried to rewrite history.
But he was hurt because she literally lied. When we were going through the casinos of Vegas, there was fans chasing me down, and I had to move quicker. Jay made sure he stayed behind and walked her through the casino so she wasn't left behind. They had a friendship. Jay did her hair for free. A $1,500 wig, and the value doesn't matter. I'm just speaking facts. We wanted to make sure she felt great. As soon as things started to turn, we were the devil. So I don't want to hear it from anyone because I lived that trip. And as soon as she attacked us, she deleted the vlog, which we all still have the footage of. That vlog was so fun and amazing. Only good vibes. As soon as shit turned for me,
Yeah.
she deleted the vlog and I'm the devil.
So Trisha saw this online and has since responded to this whole drama on TikTok. She claimed she'd seen the clip about Jeffree and Bunny and said she was concerned that this would happen, seeing as she'd cancelled on Bunny last minute. Trisha said she loves Bunny, but she got a better interview with someone else, and acknowledged that she rudely cancelled the interview last minute with Bunny.
I do her podcast more than anything. Like, I love Bunny. I keep telling her, like, it's amazing, her story. Like, every time a new part of her story comes out, like, I'm in awe, and I think she's, like, I looked up to her in so many ways. The last thing I wanted to do was cancel. I sent a text and was like, I don't know if this is going to work. I didn't check my phone the rest of the night. You guys are going to see on Thursday, I got this really amazing opportunity in Vegas, like this really amazing opportunity. And it was supposed to be for the next day. And then we got something that night and we just were cutting it so close. It was like picking up the boots, had to go to this event, like check my mom and baby into the hotel. Like, and I told her, I was like, I feel so awful. And I had a guest cancel on me like a few weeks ago, and I told her that too. And I was like, I was so mad.
Trisha additionally said Bunny talking about her with Jeffree and Jeffree lying about her and about all the things that had happened in the past is now affecting her emotionally, and she started crying.
But bringing it up on a podcast with Jeffree Star, who just hates me and continues to just hate me. I brought him up so briefly. It was asked on Tana's podcast about Jeffree, and I try to just pass it off as like it happened a long time ago. I don't even remember. And he just went on this tirade attacking me, calling me a liar. And there's one thing being in drama and responding to drama, and there's another thing to just have lies made up and just this is definition of gaslighting, to say I owe him an apology. Like, I am shaking because it's bringing it all back up again, and I was going to go look for receipts and just say that I lied about him. And then he also brings in Hair by Jay, saying I lied about Hair by Jay, when there's videos of Hair by Jay just cussing me out, telling me how ugly I am. And then there's videos of other people on that trip talking about all the mean girl behavior that happened. The reason I bought my own flight home. I was grateful with that trip. I was grateful with my friendship with Jeffree. But
Trisha also mentioned Shane and how she'd opened up to him about Jeffree's behavior at the time, and Shane did nothing.
I didn't say anything about Jeffree for years. I opened up to Shane and Ryland, and that is why my friendship with Shane ended, because Ryland said we had no idea she had these feelings about Jeffree. And they're like, the Hair by Jay, okay, we know, and they picked Jeffree, and that's fine. That's fine. I've made my peace with it. I've truly made my peace with it, and I really don't want this drama.
Trisha had said that the reason why she didn't mention or go in depth about the drama and pretended that she didn't remember was actually just her being polite, as to not go in depth about it and bring up past beef. But clearly her bringing up Jeffree's name at all just did not end up going well for her, and she realizes that now.
I thought I was just being polite by saying it was a long time ago. I don't even remember, because I don't want to drudge this up, because for me, it's humiliating, it's embarrassing. Who I was back then is embarrassing. I thought who we were back then was embarrassing. I thought Jeffree could agree on that. And like seeing all this, and then seeing Bunny bring it up on this episode where Jeffree just despises me, knowing that he's going to go off on me and say I'm a liar and all this stuff like that. Say I wanted it, was looking for clout when I didn't say anything for years. I don't know. It felt a little bit of an attack. It felt a little bit mean girl behavior, because I get it. What I did was so disrespectful to Bunny. Like, I should not have canceled last minute. I shouldn't have even made the plans to begin with. I was just so flustered. This trip, this event that was happening is like one of the biggest things that have ever happened in my entire life. I was so focused on that.
Trisha said that she wishes she could make it up to Bunny for cancelling last minute, but she does not wish to make any sort of apology to Jeffree Star. So what did Bunny have to say about all this? Well, after her podcast and after all this drama went down, she'd spoken out on TikTok about how much she loves Trisha and how she basically keeps out of drama, and says that she never once disrespected Trisha on that podcast with Jeffree, just that she was let down. Trisha cancelled last minute.
Hi guys. Okay, so here's the deal. When I did this podcast, if you guys listened to the podcast, if you've listened to it already, you know that in the podcast I do nothing but talk good about Trisha. And I'm just matter-of-factly stating what happened between Trisha and I. I'm not talking shit. I'm just telling the truth. You guys that follow me know that I always keep it 100. If you listen to the podcast tonight when it drops, I do not say one bad word about Trisha. I actually say that I think she's evolved so much as a human since having a child, and is brilliant for being able to stay relevant for this long. And just being who she is.
It's so crazy that Jeffree is trying to rewrite history with Trisha, especially with all those receipts of him apologising for the past. And this has obviously hit a deep wound for Trisha because she was bawling on TikTok about how Jeffree treated her and is still treating her to this day. Let me know your thoughts on all this drama in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more juicy tea.